on the minutes from the last meeting. Any motion to approve as presented? Okay. Yeah. Good. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Both same sign. Audience to visitors. Hearing none, we'll continue with the discussion of veteran service vouchers and internal transfers.
There aren't any vouchers you guys haven't signed. It's all just regular stuff. We still got to get the stuff switched over for mail for 2008 years. So Sydney voted U.S. Cellular, and then the only thing we had different that wasn't a regular bill was Myron Corp. We always get calendars. If we don't, we hear from it. Our veterans want those calendars, so we get the calendars with our name and stuff on them, and those are in the office. And I've already got the 2025 calendars ready to get sent to us, so those are on standby already. That's all we got for the bills and stuff. To jump to the next.
Go ahead.
All right. Numbers. We are getting even more individuals coming in. So we are up 94 calls and 55 visits in January, and up 121 calls and 80 visits in February. So our calls for January was 297 with 164 people walking in, and calls for February was 318 with 167 people walking in. So it's been kind of crazy, but the VA has been adding more stuff. So it's not, we kind of knew what was going to happen. We're already at 273 forms turned in, with the 31 being brand new claims that were never filed before. We haven't had anything to send to the board, which has been good, but we have had 19 appeals as a supplemental appeal, and regular, which is one where it's basically the veteran has more evidence to combat the VA's denial. So then we put that evidence in, and we're looking to see those get granted. These ones will probably come through as we get a little closer to probably May. We'll see most of these come through getting granted, possibly June. And then we had 8 higher level reviews, which is 8 claims that the VA has made some kind of error, either in a statute or one of their rules, and we call them out on it. I just literally got one this morning, and if it's going to become the norm, it's going to be kind of ridiculous. So I'm going to be passing it on to one of our attorneys who helps out our national organization and does training for us. And we're going to see if we can't head this one off. Basically, the VA is looking like they're going to start trying to keep a veteran from getting a full grant on an award if they can somehow prove that their condition is not just related. This particular one, the veteran has coronary artery disease, but he's also battling bladder cancer. Both are presumptive for Agent Orange. And then the veteran is over 75 years of age. The VA cannot take age into consideration. That is clearly stated in their rules. This grader took age into consideration and then set it right in his thing. That also tried to say that the veteran's coronary artery disease is more related to his cancer. So we're really going after this one. We're making sure to hit all the legal aspects of it, because there is no way to figure out what a percentage of a veteran's cancer is causing a condition versus the Agent Orange is causing the condition. So hopefully this is not something new the VA is starting to do, and this is just a one-time error on the grader or something. But we'll get more information on that one from the attorney when I talked to her. Office remodel, so close to being done, which is nice. All the hammering and stuff is done, and we're just in the painting. We have new handicap entry doors installed. They just got installed on Monday and Tuesday, so now we don't have to worry about the doors shutting in on veterans coming in with canes, scooters, or wheelchairs, and they'll open right up for them. And then I got some volunteers and I got an intern who are processing through our scanning of our paper files, and it's going really, really quickly, which is very nice. So if anybody needs filing cabinets, I've got 18 of them. Let me know if you need one. They're all in excellent condition. I got some 4-drawer and some 5-drawer. They're all black. And then we do have a new hire. Her name is Lydia Tallman. She's currently a member of the National Guard in Iowa. She's a lieutenant, and she's already jumping in head first on getting claims and stuff figured out. She'll take her first training at the end of April, which will give her an accreditation and allow her to actually file claims. But she's very gung-ho on it, and she really wants to make sure she's learning everything. She is just absorbing everything she can as far as when she sits in with us with other veterans. She's already putting her input in on arguments. She's got a background with medical, so she understands how to relate conditions to like the parts of the body versus, oh, it's related to this cancer or it's related to this toxicity or something. She can already figure that out on her own, and she's already helping out. So it's really, really good on that one. I have continuing education training in April in Green Bay. Crystal can't attend this one due to some family situation, so she's going to get additional training when she goes to our national conference. She'll be able to catch up on all that. Lydia won't be able to do the first conference because she won't have her accreditation met at that in time to get it, so she has to wait until the next conference to finish her accreditation. Then we won't have any training until October. And the biggest thing is the VA made a huge change on March 5th, which no matter where you served or when, if you were exposed to any kind of toxic chemical, you now get VA health care. And they don't make a big deal about it. They will put your claim in. You will immediately start getting VA health care. If they somehow determine that you were never exposed, then yes, they can remove you, but for the time being, you'll be able to get VA health care. So it's something that has never been done before, and it actually includes our peacetime veterans who served in like the 80s and stuff, who never had a chance to get health care unless they had at least 1 day of service during the wartime period, or their income was so low that they pretty much won't. So it's a big deal. So we're getting a lot more claims on those, which is VA healthcare claims, and these are starting to come up now. Congressional Veteran Affairs Committee met last Wednesday. We had all the big veteran groups there testifying. So American Legion, VFW, all those guys were there. And there's a ton of bills that they have introduced. But one of the biggest ones is changing National Guard and Reserve active duty time from Title 32 to the regular active duty serve time. So it's no longer going to be a separate service time. It's going to be equal across the board. The National Guard and Reserves won't get, but they won't miss out on benefits, even though they serve in the same locations and the same time frames as their active duty counterparts. So that is actually really good. It finally makes everything equal across the board, no matter where you serve at. And that's the biggest one that comes through. There's a whole bunch of others, but we'll see if they actually make it out of the committee. So that's all I got for you.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm back. So
Crystal, is that,
yes, CJ.
and how many staff have you got now? What are you up to?
3 full-timers, and then I've got Tammy part-time in the front, and then I've got an intern who makes up for any other time. And the intern is all grant funded.
Much better than starting the year.
Yes, because I don't even know what I would do with all these people coming in. There's way too many, especially with only 29 days in February and having 300 and some phone calls and 167 people walking in the door. So, but we're going to see it's a lot better coming through with veterans are getting more and more information that we are here and we can help them with claims. They're getting more of our veterans that have family members across the U.S. trying to tell their people to call us. Now they've got in Wyoming and back in Florida, several in Arizona and Texas for the our veterans. Some are down there. So, or winter down there, I should say. So they always tell everybody that they're near, and also just start getting phone calls. So, but local people, they get first. Yep. Local people come first. So, and these guys are told that. They're told that even if they're, because I've got a couple, one from Adams County, one from out in Kenosha County and stuff like that, that they need to work with a female because of their PTSD and they don't have to be a service officer over there. So they asked me to do it. I still tell them, I said, if I've got another local veteran, I have to help them first. And they fully understand. Some might grumble, but I have to do what we do. We're Vernon County, so. Other than that,
Don't make it pick the action on it.
I have nothing for you.
Just say good job.
Keep walking.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go back.
Okay, and then we will continue with the
Thank you.
Human Services, Western Regional Economic Districts.
All right, in your packet, you'll just see the RIA report for the month of February for Vernon County. Total recipients was 6,166. Healthcare only recipients was 3,505. Healthcare and food share recipients was 2,187. And total healthcare recipients being 5,692. And food share only 474. The total food share recipients were 2,683. And the food share benefit issuance was $369,548. We had 27 families that we served with a child care subsidy, and 36 children. So again, they could have multiple children in those families. The benefit issuance of child care for the month of February was $21,037.70. Again, we continue to work in the unwinding is what I would say. You can see that numbers are down a little bit as far as total recipients. We do anticipate a little bit of decline of that as people's renewals are being done for the first time in 2.5 years. We do anticipate some individuals not to be eligible due to work, maybe with their institution, you name it. So we're doing something that.
Okay. Clerical administrative energy assistance, Brenda.
On vacation, so I'll get her report. There'll be in the packet her report for the clerical front office. We do have an on-site review, and that is scheduled for May 21st. So we're preparing for that, making sure that everything is posted within our offices. That is for economic support. This is a February managed process to review local agencies and enter food share, nothing else being touched. So those are the requirements that she's listed there for this review. Making sure that we're compatible and compliant with those things is what I would say. We do have one position that remains open with economic support. We continue to do interviews and have candidates. We just have not been able to extend a offer to anybody at this time. When Brenda's back next week, I anticipate more interviews to take place though. In Administrative Salvation Army voucher for February was 6 utilities. And then year to date, we've had 1 disaster fire, 2 lodging, 0 rent, 9 utilities, 0 clothing, 0 food, 0 fuel, 0 prescriptions, and 0 cab. So again, that's only 2 months in for that. The stats of last week, applications for energy assistance, we were at 939 with 829 paid out. Crisis applications with 43 paid. Furnace repairs 15, 23 replacements, and 4 effective.
That says in front.
And
Oh, Brooke, right? Sorry, thank you. Do you have any questions for Jill? Good morning.
right, performance for February, April 908. Quarterly performance, 91.3%. Attorney, 3. Current court collection, 79%. Career selection, 6.24%. Right for due in Vernon County in February, $108,304.13. Vernon County, we have paid $151,350. There's some updates on the busy report. Typically, we have 20 cases going in. We have about 30 cases going in. But I think soon I will be back to raw, and we're starting to see a lot of taps that are coming in on pairs who are behind. a lot collection that could our numbers will change if we're here again. Well, I'm really to
Any questions for child support? No? None? Thank you very much. Family and children's,
that'd be me.
again.
You're stuck in this. Right. So I'll just quickly review our current out-of-home placements that are high cost. We have a child at Tomorrow's Children, that is $525 a day. Cholita, we have that youth there at 803. Again, we do anticipate that youth to age out in August. And we have a couple units working on that transition, as well as the family and children's unit, the ADRC and the long-term support unit are all working with that case. Genesee Lake School, $712, and Rivers Edge Campus is $662. So you can see 4 of those high cost placements currently working. 4 is better than 7.
Mhm.
And then as far as Teresa's report, on page 1, you'll see the screened in CPS reports as of February. There are 8 reports screened in and 15 screened out for a total of 23 reports. Of those reports, 3 were physical abuse, 3 were neglect, 2 sexual abuse. Alleged victims for the February reports were 12 and screened out 20. We had 4 same-day reports and 4 within 5 business days. Again, we don't like those same-day reports being that high, so hopefully that will fade low. The higher the screen in time is, again, the more serious the situation, and so we don't like to have 4 things. And then as far as service intakes, we had 8 service intakes for the month of February. We had 2 delinquencies, and we continue to have 29 children in foster homes and 18 kinship cares, including special years at this moment. We have 6 in rehabilitation support providers and 7 in community services team. On caseload size, we currently have a range of 6, or excuse me, as low as 3 and as high as 15. And then I would say Mariah is our newest worker, and so we're just starting to get her cases. And so that's why her numbers are a bit low. Initial assessment, total approved were 7, 2 remained open, and 5 closed for the month of February. I'll just add that the governor did sign the light kinship care bill, which means that we're able to place children in a light, not family blood related, but if they are unknown to that family member, then we are able to place them into that type of situation, and then they can apply for kinship care for those children that they're taking care of. So that will help us. There's no budgetary changes right now, so that change was by statute, by wording, by language, and we anticipate in 2025 hopefully a budgetary changes to that. Any questions? Oh, I know not as good as Tracy.
Okay, any questions for Joe? Brandon, I've already here. Welcome.
Moving.
Morning.
For our long-term support children's programs, we continue to have 23 children in our birth degree program. We have 81 children in our children's long-term support labor program and 10 children in our children's community option. In the month of February, we had 4 emergency detentions. 2 of those were male, 2 were female. We had 3 that were Vernon County residents and 1 was a Jefferson County resident. 2 of those cases were dismissed. 1 resulted in a 6-month mental health commitment,
and one was a change of venue to Jefferson County. We have 24 individuals who are under a court commitment, 12 individuals who are in a mental health placement, 39 individuals in our comprehensive community services program, and 57 individuals in our community support program. During the month of February, we had 66 calls for information and referral. We had 5 adult protective services investigations, 1 guardianship referral. We did not have any emergency protective placements. We currently have 1 consumer in AODA treatment, and we have 83 consumers who are under protective placement and require an annual review. Anyone have any questions for me?
That 83 is taken on the statement.
Yeah, it changes as people pass away. Sometimes we go down a few, but then we go up a few as well when we get to referral. So it's pretty steady. And I count them every month. Put the number in.
Yeah, well, thank you. Anybody, questions for Barry? No? Okay,
Thank you.
then we'll go with, Vernon also here.
Good morning.
Morning.
So in the month of February, the ADRC had 708 telephone calls and 73 walk-ins. The disability benefit specialist had 50 open cases with 8 current appeals as well as 3 applicants. The net final financial impact was $197,870 in February. Please continue to assist with the ARC tax aid as well as meeting with schools regarding youth and transition. The elder benefits specialist has had 30 contacts with individuals, 21 current client meetings, as well as 9 new clients. Meeting's monthly financial impact was $311,045. His meeting with other local elder benefits specialists, that's what they're doing for outreach, as she's planning for outreach in Vernon County. The dementia care specialist provided services to 26 individuals in case management or information to 12 others. Teresa had 30 individuals who were involved in support groups. Planning to have a booster brain and memory class, and there are 14 individuals signed up for this. The transportation program served 59 individuals through the volunteer driver program, 27 on the minibus, and 49 by the handicap accepted again. There is a total of 135 individuals who were served over 21 riders. The special trip this month is this Thursday, and it's to the National Eagle Center in Wabasha. And then in April, the special trip is to the casino in Blackwood Falls. Both trips will be full. The nutrition program served 2,434 home-delivered meals and 1,128 congregate meals for a total of 3,562 meals. There was an open position for the local meal site manager as well as for the driver in the Hillsborough area. The staff at the ADRC are filling in so there's no interruption in service delivery. We have since interviewed for the open meal site manager position and are offering it. So that position will be filled. It's just the driver in Hillsborough. So the social worker had 90 new referrals, 26 face-to-face visits, 10 functional experience administered, 2 Medicaid applications, and 6 enrollments in long-term care programs. Visits to 9 different communities. Beth continues to be very busy as there's still an open social work position. So we have conducted interviews. Hopefully will be offering position this month. Senior fair will be May 1st at the Vernon County Fairgrounds. And the other thing with ADRC is also currently working on is the aging plan for 2025 to 2027. I have put a survey out on our website as well as on our social media page. I printed out applications or surveys. They went out to all of our on our newsletter as well as to all of our nutrition participants. I did bring a few here, so if some people would like to fill them out, I would appreciate it. Are you implying there might be people over 60 in this room? No. Well, and one of the target people also are elected officials, and caregivers or healthcare professionals. So there's a variety of different target groups. Anyway, we do. We also plan to do some in-person meetings to talk about HIV. It is a separate requirement. I think as far as aging.
I understand that, but is there some way you could link it to a comprehensive plan so that we include what information you gather to be considered? Just an idea, but
We certainly could share the results with them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know the questions you're asking, but we have questions as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Good job.
That doesn't make sense to do it.
It depends on what the question.
Well, things seem to be running very smoothly over there. Must be a reflection on the committee chairman.
It must be.
Marcia's here.
Yes, I am. Good morning. All right. We'll talk about our budget versus expenditures report. So February, we should be at about 17%. If you look down the right-hand side of that first page, you'll notice that developmental disabilities, it is at the specified state funds are at 40%. That is normal. We always, as long as we can, and it's in line with the spending, we will use those state funds first. And so you'll notice that with the developmental disabilities and even the family and children's as well. That's at 28%. So overall, the fund 80 is at 13%. So that's good. Starting off the year right. So in the bottom portion, you'll see the aging funds. Those are pretty much in line, or actually they are all in line, with the closest one just being the congregants. So on the back side, that's that federal fiscal year. So October through September, that's why that's higher. Comprehensive community services, those are Medicaid dollars, not actually levied. So that one is higher. They have more participants. It just depends on the needs of the consumers. Our mental health court committed so far is in line. Fingers crossed, we'll stay that way for the rest of the year. So, the state mental health, you'll notice I don't have any expenses there for this month. That's the good of the bill. So let's hope that stays at 0 too. But what do you do? So other than that, we've just been busy trying to close up 2023. Lots of reporting. Getting everything tied up and starting 2024. Even though we're already in March, it feels like we just started. So, Kirk, any questions for me?
What do you anticipate the state mental health bill to be?
I don't know because I'm not sure who was there. If anybody in the month of that would have been February. So I don't know. I haven't gotten any reports yet as to if we had anybody there. Haven't seen anything.
But we did have a couple people there during one month, but like the Jefferson County person ended up having to go there. So we had to pay for the first 3 days and then Jefferson picks up after that. But so we've had a few people there. Like Marcia says, it depends on the bill. But again, remember, we get the expense completely first. And then as they recoup Medicaid or Medicare or private insurance, they refund us. So unfortunately, the way that bill works. So.
Okay, well, we'll have to accept the number.
Until next month.
Service contracts and amendments for human services.
We do have an amendment for 2023. I don't think there was anything in your packet though. But we do have an amendment for our birth to three program, the parenting place, just as cleanup. We were about $8,000 over our contract amount, so we do have that amendment that will have Catherine sign. So that's just for your information. So we will increase that contract by $8,000 to cover. And then 2023. So we do not have any new ones for 2024 this year. Yep. And that hopefully is our last one. I think that was the last one that rolls out. Hopefully, no.
Can I know?
that we know of right now. Hopefully that answers the same. Internal transfers, I believe that was in your packet. That is nothing unusual there for you. Sheriff's Department served a couple people for our child support unit. And then we did have an internal transfer to our IT department. If you recall, Brooke talked about the new part-time staff that we had budgeted for starting January. Her name is Maddie. She started. And this was for her equipment. So what happens is when we have someone new, the department is responsible for the IT equipment. But then as they update us in 3 years or 5 years with new equipment, then the IT department pays for that. But initially, each department pays for those initial equipment. So that is to reimburse our IT department for that. With child support, 66% of that is recouped through the state bill, so just so you're aware of that. We are able to expend that to the state. So those are FYIs. And then vouchers were approved by finance, I believe, on Tuesday already. I will say that our vouchers were very usual and customary. The only thing that was a little bit outstanding was that we did have our two brothers collision repair a couple of vehicles for us. We had a foster parent back into one of our vehicles at their a rear mirror that we replaced on the ADRC vehicle. So just a couple repairs that we had there.
When a foster parent backs into a common vehicle,
Yeah.
are they responsible?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So it went to theirs and then to ours, whatever was remaining. Unfortunately, I think they hit a couple doors, and so but it was a little bit more expensive than we wanted it to be. So
Let me back up and try this again.
no.
Okay, all right, well, let's see, where we got review and pay human services title.
Yep, so the title VI plan. So you guys did get that by email. I do have a couple of these sitting around. If you want to review that. What this is it's a state Department of Transportation template that we use for our transportation program. So when we were doing our review with our transportation program, we needed to update this Title VI plan. So as you saw, maybe it was first adopted by the Aging Commission back in 2014. So this is a pretty standard issue type non-discrimination plan. It is the state form that we use with our Vernon County information put in here. And if you saw, it really is just about how we plan to administer our civil rights and any complaints, as well as any non-discrimination clauses that we need to do with our consumers that we serve in the program.
The staff deal with people with limited English proficiency.
At the ADRC or human services overall? This is just for transportation. I don't know for transportation we have any one maybe. But we do have non-English speaking individuals that are served by human services that we sometimes will use like our language line or an interpreter if necessary, if it's a whole visit like situation. Mm-hmm. And I would say that happens on average once a month, I would say. Sometimes it's a little bit more than that. I would say maybe 1 to 3 times if it's a social worker home visit situation in a year is what I would say. But it does happen with like our food share and Medicaid benefits more regularly is what I would say.
Okay. And it's interesting how they calculate. Well, I speak language identification card is interesting, assuming the person reads and writes.
That's correct.
In their native language.
That's correct. And we do keep those on hand at the front desk so they can show up. Mm-hmm.
And in the transportation.
That's correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like they used 2015 population, which I'm wondering, 2020.
I think she was the census data gave it to us from the state. So the lady who coordinates it did give us the data that she felt was most important for them. I agree.
Because I would think the number of Spanish speaking people will probably increase.
And this was back to 20 years ago. That's the very information would maybe put you over that would be safe for
Maybe, yeah, the 1%. Yeah, I can't answer that because I'm not our overall population as well. So that kind of also changes that. So it is good.
Okay, go ahead. Yes. Oh, finally, we got an action. Motion to approve. Favor to the favor, say aye. Aye. Services, yep, typically.
I really don't have much, to be honest. Like Marcia had said, we're kind of trying to get some things done, as well as with the managers as far as picking up reports and ending our 2023 year. So it's been busy. It also has been busy with referrals in all units. The change in season always seems to bring on a wave of referrals, I would say. And since we've had a mild winter, I think that's impacted that wave of referrals sooner for us this year. So we've seen a little bit of an increase with referrals in the last 2 weeks, is what I would say, across the board with all units. But other than that, we do hope to fill our economic support position, as well as our ADRC social worker position that's been open since June.
Wow.
July. We do hope to do that, which would just really leave our department down with the meal hauler in Hillsborough, I think. And that's something would hopefully we receive some applications for that. So other than that, we do plan a all-staff meeting in April, and then working on that. We've got both those twice a year for half a day each day. One typically in April and one typically in October.
Very good.
Oh, like that for you.
I'll ask Cassandra, our county administrator, according.
Yeah.
I do see the word coming forth.
Reorganization.
Yes.
April 16th.
Actually, this will be a possible. So Gail and Kathleen leaving, but I wanted to tell her that very meeting and all and working, you know. And still waiting for cards and money coming from Gail.
Next week.
James, you want to clarify that you're not leaving the county,
Right,
just
right.
the committee.
It's my 27th year on the news. Really, I came here and things open spot. We made it through that. Now I'll do it. Bill, just we can count the days, you know.
We all.
Not of-
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, I didn't bring one muffin. But it's
We're cruising towards adjourning, but anybody got anything that you'd like on the agenda for the April meeting? John Trivedi is our chair, the vice chair, so presumably he might just slide right in and be seamless. But that's another story. Next meeting date is April 17th. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Frank, second. All in favor of adjourning, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I will always give you up the back.